Hi, Nicole and Jason. Hope you guys are doing well today, and hope the game is going well. This is your video lesson. There are 3 things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list. If you want me to look at anything or have any questions at the end, feel free to shoot me back over a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So the first thing is a chord quiz. We just got to get Jason recognizing those chords right away. He was doing really well last week with the D chord and all the other chords. We just got to make sure that we keep on that. That way he doesn't have to have any think time when he's going from one chord to the next. Because if you have to think too much what the next chord is, the song is kind of like already over by the time he kind of gets to where he's supposed to go. So the 3 chords, or say the 5 chords I want him to know, hopefully this is in tune, is... All right, is C, which is this one right here, is just one finger on the second string, and you strum the top 3 strings, right? It's just that one right there, so that's C. Next one's G. G's on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, just like that right there, just one finger, right? E minor, another 1-finger chord. We're gonna put that E minor, it's the second finger on string 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 2nd fret. So fret 1, fret 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You get your E minor right there, and then you strum that one. A minor is one of the 3-finger chords. It's like a C chord right here, and then you add 2 other fingers to it. If he has trouble with that one, don't worry about it. When he swings by next time, we'll spend some time drilling that right there, making sure that he knows exactly how to play it. Right? And then you have your D chord. And I think he did really well with that one last time, so I'm not too worried about that. Maybe a review or something like that. It's been a few days. Right? So with those 5 chords, one thing that I want you guys to do during the week is the 1-minute challenge. How many times can you take the chord on and off? So do this with 1 chord at a time. So you'll set a stopwatch for 1 minute, and you'll see how many times can he get that D chord in position. Because it's kind of like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Like, you know, the more times you do it, the more time it's going to be muscle memory, and then eventually it'll be instinctual. So bring the chord up to D, drop the hand, set that timer, go, and then you do down, back into position. And they only count, and they keep track of how many he does. It only counts if he can get all the fingers in the right spot. So if you kind of like mash the fingers like this, that doesn't count. But if you get all the fingers in place, excuse me, then it'll count. So you do that with each one of those chords. All right, the next thing I want him to do is a picking chord exercise with the 1-finger chords. We won't do this with the 3-finger chords yet. We'll save that for another day. So take a chord like C, and then you get in that 1st fret, right, on the 2nd string. And you make sure that you get a nice, so you get on the tip of the finger, right? So if you need to draw like a little dot on his finger, you can do that. Or if he doesn't want to, that's fine too. Excuse me, a little cold today. And you get on the tip of the finger. And you make sure it's a circle finger, kind of like that right there. So you get the finger and make sure it's a round circle. If you need to practice this a few times, then go ahead and do that. You can do some chops. So chop, 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 right? Get that circle finger just like this. And then what you're going to do, making sure that it's round, you're going to pick each string so you can take his thumb and make sure each string rings. So if you hear this, it means the finger's not round enough. Okay. And then what we fun for this one is that you each take turns. That way he can show you. Kids love showing parents how they do things and how they do things well. And they want to show you how to do them too. So what you can do is you can take the guitar and you can put your finger on there and try not to make a mistake because Jason's going to correct it. He's going to make sure that you get on the tip of your finger. That'll help remind him what he's supposed to do. On the tip of your finger, and then make sure it's a round circle finger, right? And then you pick, and if you make a mistake, he can help you correct it. And then you pass the guitar, and then you take another turn, and then he takes a turn doing maybe a different chord, doing the G chord. But if you see a flat finger like this, gotta get on the tip of the finger. All right, and then you take the turn. So go ahead and do that for me as well. And then the last thing I want you guys to work on is using the capo, because we're gonna be using that a lot in the near future. What you're gonna do is take your capo and just kind of have it off to the side for a second, and then play a C chord. So we'll do like an easy one first, right? So you get that C chord on there, and then go ahead and strum it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the capo and we'll put the capo on the 2nd fret. So we open the capo up, fret 1, fret 2. So fret 1, fret 2, we open the capo up and we put it right on the guitar. And then just to make sure we didn't bend any strings, we open the capo and we close the capo. So open and close it, that make sure if we bent a string by accident, it won't be bent when we play. And then what he's going to practice doing is finding where that spot is with the capo. Sometimes it can be kind of tricky with the kids. C is not too bad, so start there. And then find, this is the new nut, which is this white piece right here on my guitar. New nut, and this is fret 1, fret 2, and fret 3 now. So now it's all been moved up. So we put our first finger here like this, a round circle finger. And then we strum those 3 strings. Sounds different, right? Then go ahead and take the capo off, and then do this with the G chord, because you'll see why in a second. You'll take that finger and you'll put that finger right here on the 3rd fret, right, for his G chord, first string. Right, sounds nice. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. Okay? Now I counted that for a reason. Back on the 2nd fret. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. Because sometimes the kids will get confused on like how many frets up it is, because the same relationship has to move up here, same spatial relationship. So fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. And you put your finger there and go, right, take it on and see if you can do that again. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. Okay, there it is. All right. So practice doing that. Stick with the 1 finger chords so then you can do it with E minor, right? Fret 1, fret 2. That's the fret that we're on. Put the capo back on. Oops. Put the capo back on. Fret 1, fret 2. If you do this, you hear it sounds kind of funny. So you make sure that's, make sure the capo's straight. And then fret 1, fret 2, and then strum that right there. So those are the 3 things I want you to practice. Like I said, if you want me to look at anything or unclear about anything, don't hesitate to shoot me over a message. I'd much rather have you ask me a 30-second question than to get frustrated all week. All right, and I'll see you same time next time. Take care. Bye-bye.